Episode 17. What is religion? Before we delve too far into any particular religion, I want to discuss the fact that this is about religion as a whole. What religion is humans. I think it's a long standing collection of rules and guidelines. It's sort of the stuff that people have gone through over the years and the stories that they have come with, sort of bring to the table to say, this is a reminder of why you need to do something. It's really guidance. But I think religion is a little bit further than that. It's like, what would you say? It's guidance from before, more particular. It's not just somebody came up with a cool idea and a bunch of people agreed with it and they said, yeah, let's all do this. It's like, no, my great ancestors from way back did this and they passed this down. And then the next one said, do this and then passed it down. And so everybody gets a little chance to shape it. I think that's important. I think that's part of the evolution of humanity is that you shape your history. I don't know. It's like it has to be something that can move a little bit because it's going to fit new challenges, right? We don't have the same challenges year after year after year that they did back, 200 years ago. So we have to adapt. And it's a beautiful idea to say no, it's going to be one thing consistent across all of time, but we're not consistent across all of time. That's why it's really important to have a good mindset while adapting this, while adapting what religion is and how it guides people. When the iPhone came out, I don't remember any religions being like, we already knew and having like, the specs for the iPhone. They might have had something like a line that says, new things will change and something about numbers and metal. Like, okay, that's fine, but really not descriptive about iPhones. I mean, something very specific. Again, it's like maybe that's something that was recorded somewhere because something like that happened when they started using tablets for, doing math or whatnot. It's like, it's possible. Dude, even calculators, it kind of fits what a calculator is. Nobody was trying to attack calculators, except for the teachers that were like, you'll never have a calculator. That's the best one. But again, like it adapts over time, just like we do. And it's the same thing with like your schooling and your skills and everything. Part of who you are as a human, it adapts over time. I think of what other main topic points that I want to generalize over. I think another part of religion is that it has it has some sort of idea of this is here and this isn't from us. I think that's somewhat consistent. Everybody has a story of how we came to be or how we came to be where we're at. Might have been some type of inspiration from the surrounding. It might have been just lessons over time. But there is a lot of story mixed in different religions. It talks about larger beings than people. We'll say that it's somewhat consistent. And I don't mean just like physically. I mean like the idea. It's like the idea and at the core of it, the values. The values are bigger and stronger than humanity in a lot of spaces. Whether it's a singular divine figure or whether it's a multiple set of divine figures, it's always some sort of idea of this was here and then we were here, which is always interesting because so much of it relies on sort of hearsay, which I would say is accurate. A lot of it is here's what we were told, and here's what we know, and here's speculation and the conclusion and the stories that we've passed down. That's a lot of what it is. It's like it's stories. So it's interesting. And I believe there's a lot of metaphor included. There's a lot of poetry included. And most religions, I think, acknowledge the fact that, yeah, a lot of it is supposed to be poetic and guiding and mysterious because I think it better fits. Like, you ever look into song lyrics and you find something very specific that seems to kind of resonate? And then if you dig into it, they'll say, yeah, I left this part ambiguous, so it's kind of up for interpretation. And if they define that and they say, well, here's what it's about, it almost loses a little bit of that connection. It's almost like, oh, well, I didn't go through that. I didn't get rammed in a limousine and then all of a sudden after the car accident, I had this harrowing journey of recovery. It's like, well, I never got a car accident, so it suddenly doesn't align with you anymore. But to leave it ambiguous, like, struggling through a journey, it's like, well, everybody struggles through a journey. So that's why song lyrics are so impactful when they're a little bit generic. Kind of allows opening to connect to a lot of people. There's a lot of space where people can say, oh, this is kind of what I went through. And they see themselves, right? Guess that's it. They see themselves, they see their own struggles, and they feel like the song is about them. I think that's about where it's at. I think like biblical teachings and religious doctrines across the board, I think that was their purpose. I think it was to let you see yourself in them. Say, well, here's what would happen if you do this, and here's what will happen if you do this, and here's a good path to go, and here's why, and here's a bad path to go, and here's why. I mean, one of the earliest biblical writings of a philosopher that I recall specifically through Christian lens was Ecclesiastes, and it's one of the very first like writings that's like full in a religious doctrine, um, specifically about a philosopher who didn't have answers. It was the weirdest chapter to read. I think it's a great read, but it starts off with meaningless. I'm like, what do you mean meaningless? You can't be meaningless. You have to have solved it. You have to figure it out. But his whole adventure was talking about how he couldn't figure anything else out. He was like, I don't know why we're here. He let himself go on this vast, wild, and crazy journey, and like there's nothing that I what was it like nothing that my heart desired that I denied it or something like that. So he was like drugs, money, do whatever, enjoy life to the fullest. And at the end of it, he's like, I don't know. I don't know what it was for. None of it meant anything. None of it did anything. It was an interesting context of like all this stuff that you might think, oh, this is going to be great. Doesn't necessarily lead you into this like sense of purpose. It's almost like it's a separate thing. And yeah, it was an interesting takeaway, is all I'm getting at. Basically, his vast conclusion at the end of it was like, it's here to enjoy whatever this is, whatever we're doing here. It's here for us to enjoy and not take for granted. Don't miss out on opportunities, but in the end of it, it's like he wasn't able to solve it. He wasn't able to put a label on and say, well, here's the purpose of life. And so many people since him have done that. So many other philosophers have delved into that. What's the meaning of life? A lot of the conclusions that I end up seeing on that is always like, well, it comes down to enjoying life. What's the meaning of life? To enjoy it. Okay. But we sure do not live enjoyable lives anymore. It's sad. Even when you have time and money, you have friends that don't have time and money, and then you're like, well, now I don't get to see anybody. So it's like, what's the point of having time and money if everybody doesn't have time and money? So stupid. Anyways, so back to religion. At some point, there was a cultural divide where one religion came up with one thing and another religion came up with another thing. And there's this interesting point of context of how other religions don't carry outside of their region. Everybody's just sort of like, well, that's because they misinterpreted it, maybe completely. Like, well, if it was guided by fine hands, wouldn't it be the same everywhere? Like, wouldn't we have like a good doctrine across time, across nations? But I guess that gets into touchy areas too, because that's something that, like, I don't know. It's just hard to put a finger on, I guess. It's hard for me to say exactly where there's problems and exactly what the answers would. And a lot of them been, I've been arguing with a friend who's been really delving in, and he's good, he's solid, but a lot of points I still want to discuss with him. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, well, what about these things? Just out of curiosity. But yeah, it is something that shapes culture for sure. It is a guiding hand. But I mean, so is like law, right? Law is like, hey, we shouldn't do this. And then when something becomes a necessity, they're like, hey, we should probably do this. And it's like food and shelter and water and survival, pursuit of happiness. Used to be it. I feel like if we had laws nowadays that started right now, we would be like, we got to pay all of our bills, support mega corporations, and we got to listen to Jeff Bezos. Every Prime Day, we have to get together in a circle and hold hands and sing about how much money we're going to spend for Jeff Bezos. I feel like that would be it if we made religion now, in the US at least. Other countries would probably still have, uh, you know, similar experiences at this point. But yeah, it's like that's what I get into as well, is like, why are all these corporations taking over the world? And it seems like every religion is like, oh, well, because the world's a bad place. And it's like, well, it doesn't make much sense to be like, the world's great and beautiful and it's a gift, but it's a terrible place and it's mistakes. And it's like, well, which is it? Pick one. Can't be both. Can't say it's a terrible place and then it's a beautiful place and it's a gift to humans, but then at the same time, it's like a curse. And I'm like, you can't hate it and love it like that. Makes it too convenient. Too convenient. Anyways, what else about religion? It's a set of guiding laws. It's helped shaped what our actual laws are. Oh, I had a discussion I'm gonna bring up real quick. Actually, I got into it with a guy that was saying basically the founding fathers did not base any documentation on Christianity, and I was like, well, the founding fathers of the U.S. were like almost entirely from one background. Like we'll say two backgrounds completely. They weren't like a diverse group from around the world who came together and they're like, let's make a thing together. But I was like, they really instilled a lot of values of what they believed, which had a lot of foundation in Christianity. So I was like, well, the founding fathers most definitely based their ideology on their upbringing, their experiences, and their own religious backgrounds. So I was like, yeah, Christianity is embedded in US doctrines. Whether we want to believe it or not, like it's still there. It's influenced it. And it's like you look at the consistencies between them, there's quite a few things that cross in and you're like, well, yeah. Has it been updated and amended over time? Oh yeah, most definitely. It's like we haven't had a lot of talk about technology and IP rights and stuff like that, and that's been stuff that we had to add later. That wasn't in the Constitution. But to say the founding fathers didn't follow the guidance of Christianity, I'm like, well, that's a far reach. I think they did. Anywho, we got a ton of topics to cover, so I'm going to start delving into these other ones. And if you guys have anything particular on religion you'd like to hear, I'd love to delve into more of it. It's not exactly my specialty. It's an area that's pretty vast. It's hard to cover as one person, but I'll do my best. I look forward to it. Till next time.